keeping with the notion of taking one simple idea and doing lots of different things with it, one of the elements or rudiments that I use a lot and do a lot of different things with is the paradiddle-diddle. So I'll play it for you on the snare, and you'll see when you just play it strictly off the page, there's not really a lot of music happening there. I'll play it slower. As you can see, it's a right, left, right, right, left, left. As I've talked about in other places, anytime that I learn something that is based off of a 3-note or 6-note idea, I try to figure out how to do it as triplets, but I also figure out how to do it in 16th notes as well. So one of the cool things you can do with this is take it and play it as a groove as 6 16th notes over 4. And it comes up with this pretty interesting over the bar line type of groove, but then you can resolve it at the end of a measure or at the end of 2 measures. So let's check this out. I'm going to put the paradiddle-diddle in between the cowbell and the snare, and I'm going to play it as 16th notes. Now you can take that and elongate that and stretch it a little bit further and get some interesting things happening with that as well. So what I'm doing sometimes is, even though I'll start with the bass drum on the start of the paradiddle-diddle, then I'll place a bass drum on the second of the 2 lefts, and then on the first of the 2 rights. Slowly, that looks like this. Then when I pick it up to tempo and put it around the hi-hat or the cowbell or the floor tom or the ride, it gets some really interesting ideas. So I'll use that sometimes as a variation in a groove or as a fill. You can use it within the kick snare hat as a variation, or you can move it around the tom. So I'll play some time in a funk context, and then I'll start moving this around. Now you can go back to playing the paradiddle-diddle as triplet 16th notes or 6 tuplets, and you can play it in between the hi-hat and the snare, and then reinforce it on the bass drum, and you get something that sounds like a halftime shuffle. Now if you look at that idea and you start it as triplets and start it on beats 2 and 4, what happens with the right hand is very interesting. Let's check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now you can take the bass drum and free it up a little bit and let the right foot play a little bit of what the right hand is playing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So once you have to where the right hand is spelling out the ride cymbal pattern, you can also do something that's really hip and take one of these levs and diddle the middle, which is something that Elvin does all the time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, with anything that I learn, I try to make it as musical as possible, and I'm going to try to make a 3-note phrase out of it. So how do you make a 3-note phrase out of the Paradiddle-diddle? Well, you can add a right, left, left to the front of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, you can let the right foot follow some of the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I like playing this bass drum pattern under this. It gives a nice, even flow and over the bar line kind of feel, and you can insert this in a lot of different things when you're playing in a jazz context. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm just going to improvise a little bit with the idea of playing some of these paradiddle-diddle ideas starting on 2 and 4. Then I'll also be adding right, left, lefts, and I'll be making 3-note phrases as well. We can also get into playing some of the 3-stroke rough, where we'll be playing 2 left hands and 1 right hand. And I'll put that sometimes on the downbeat, but I'll also put it sometimes on the upbeat, where the right hand is playing the last partial of the triplet.